different approach to Alexander the Great, and perhaps what people were trying to hide. Concerning the era of Alexander the Great, he lived about 330 BC. Alexander the Great today as yesterday. And of course we know he was buried, but we still have not found where his tomb is, his final resting place. The last arrival of Apollo light for the salvation of his era was in the time of Alexander the Great. Now let's remember that we also had a prophecy given to the prophet Daniel by the archangel Gabriel in the Old Testament book of Daniel, where Archangel Gabriel told the prophet Daniel concerning the coming of the little horn, meaning the young king from the north of Greece, and he would reign for 10 years and would die young, and his heirs would not inherit his kingdom. That's exactly what happened to Alexander the Great. His kingdom was split into 4 pieces, given to his 4 top generals. And of course, it was Alexander the Great who put an end to the Persian Empire. That was what the basic prophecy was of the Archangel Gabriel to the prophet Daniel. As we know, that was when Daniel and the tribes of Israel were exiled in Babylon for 70 years. Now, what happened to the sacred worlds and all the planets that were tightened by life, Greek elements, and genes? Unfortunately, they're here after the descendants of the vibration and strong geophysical catastrophes after the loss of Atlantis. And that was about. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. From what some ancient Greek writings state, about 9,564 BC, that's about 11,500 years ago, around the time of the Younger Dryas comet. Very strange coincidences with these dates. So unfortunately, after the descent of the vibrations of the geophysical catastrophes where Atlantis was lost, the view of the earth was cut off from the heavens, this thing says, and the turmoil of the world of dark souls ruled Gaia for many thousands of years. His son, well, from what these ancient texts say, the Alexander the Great was Zeus's son. If you could believe that or not, I don't, but I'm just telling you what these things say. That Zeus, of course, being one of the top gods of the Olympian pantheon of the ancient Greeks, did not die and was not poisoned by anyone, but recovered from melancholy and carried messages from the heavens with his astral body and was on the council of the immortal gods, and he came conscious from the star Sirius on a mission and woke up at the age of 13, and since then he knew that what his mission was and is. And he says he was a great man shortly before he died, as the orders were for King Hephaestion to become king after Alexander's quote-unquote death from his body. But unfortunately, Hephaestion died a few months before, probably from poisoning as well. When Alexander was calmed down, he shouted to Kratoros and told his supreme council staff to give his kingdom to Kratoros and not to the state. As the kings falsely said, because they were all worthy demigods. He knew the mortal race, and he had left Alexander, who admired him, amazing. So he also had absolute trust in Alexander and had him sent to Greece as ruler of Macedon, northern Greece, as we know. Also, Kratoros was a Macedonian. The 7 ruling regents, Pefketas, Lysimachos, Pythonas, Ariston, Ptolemy, Perthicas Leonatos, with a huge empire he had created with an army of 150,000 infantry. That's Alexander's army, of course, with 70,000 sailors and a naval force of hundreds of ships, 30,000 huge ships, 30,000 borders, east-west, a huge empire with Greek cities and untold wealth of gold. The seven regents ruled by Ptolemy, did not carry out his orders for the unification and continuation of the empire, and after 2 years, after not unanimously deciding who would be appointed supreme ruler, since they were all equally educated and initiated, they decided to separate the empire to get what each one wanted, except Ariston, the ruler, since he did not want kingdoms but to be close to Olympiada, maybe have her as his mistress. Olympiada, as we know, was Alexander's mother, or maybe Alexander's orders to protect her, as well as the great hero Aristonos, after he was killed for the salvation of Olympiada, to save his mother, that is Olympiada, and the vision of a great Greece was lost. So the conclusion is that we are since the whole genus of Alexander was, of course, done away with by the Greeks from fathers, mothers, and their offspring, now he knows who is responsible. That, of course, that would basically bring down of the empire of Alexander the Great, and because they wanted to neutralize each other. All the rulers were childhood friends and graduates of the middle school of the great founder of King Philip, Alexander the Great's father, and we know that Alexander the Great grew up with all these little children who became his mighty generals, so then squabbled among each other who would have which part of the empire, and then even turned on each other when their descendants turned on each other. Okay, this is from Sekeris Apollo, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Thank you for your support, and please leave your comments. Thank you.